This is Zhiyun Crane M, which is a much smaller gimbal compared to the regular gimbals for DSLRs. This is a much smaller size, but still it can hold a lot of high-end mirrorless cameras, and this makes it very attractive for the travelers who want a very compact, small, lightweight setup without compromising with the photography or videography power. For example, this is Sony a6500, which with 16 to 50mm lens, and this setup is within 600 gram, and still we can have 120 fps APS-C sensor, one of the world's fastest autofocus tracking, etc, etc. And also this lens, when you zoom it, this lens doesn't extend much, and this makes it easier for using this gimbal, because we don't need to rebalance the gimbal when we zoom it and zoom out. Also, it's possible to use the gimbal for example, Panasonic cameras G85 G7 with many different lenses within this weight limit. But the problem with this gimbal with this kind of bigger mirrorless cameras, still it's in the weight limit, but the problem is that we cannot go to the inverted mode. So as you can see, it hits here, this side also, and if you want to go inverted mode, it hits here, and this makes it apparently limited use of gimbal, because the inverted mode has a lot of use, and you cannot do it in this way, because then this is in front of the camera. I have seen many people suggested to mount the camera a little bit off balanced, so that we get some so that extend this lever a little bit this side, so the camera is a little off balanced, and we can have some space here to take inverted mode. But this is against the recommended operation of the gimbal, because it's off balanced and the motors are in strain. And I have seen some people also even change their gimbal from this Crane M to normal crane, just because they could not go to the inverted mode. So after trying a lot of different things, I finally came up with one very nice solution to get the inverted mode without doing anything against the regular operation of the gimbal. How to do that? Okay, so let's switch it on the gimbal. So the gimbal is now switched on, and now it's just about switch on. It's in the pan follow mode, so it's only rotates in the horizontal direction, and it doesn't move in the vertical. So now in this mode, in this mode, if I do this, move this joystick up down, the camera tilts. If you can see, the camera tilts, but it will stop somewhere, so it stops there. Okay, so what we need to do, while camera is rotating, we need to rotate the gimbal also. See, so now we have the inverted mode for the Crane M with a6500. Of course, the camera is also upside down now, but you know how to do it in the post. That's not any issue. So and this is without doing anything against the regular operation of the gimbal. So there is no harm to the gimbal, and also this is possible for any camera which you can use with this gimbal in normal mode, in the weight limit of the gimbal, any camera. An interesting thing is that you can have all the three modes of the gimbal, 3 or 4 modes of the gimbal in this mode. Now it's in the pan follow mode, If you highest mode, so if you double click, now it's in the pan and tilt mode. Single click, again in the pan follow mode, again single click, locking mode. Okay, also this selfie mode. So all the three modes, 4 modes you can have in this upside down, in this inverted mode. Now one thing you should remember, that you can switch this gimbal off in this inverted position, but you should not switch it on in this inverted position, because if you switch it on now, this gimbal will try to adjust. It will sense that this is not the right position, and it will try to rotate the camera in the normal horizontal non-upside down mode, and then it will hit this gimbal. This lens will hit this gimbal. I mean, I can show you. I should not do it, but still, so now it's off. Now if I switch it on in this position, see, this is not good. Here I am pausing the video a little bit and like to make a suggestion to the people in Zhiyun that they should release a software update for this crane, so that while switching it on, if it detects that it is already in the inverted mode, then instead of trying to rotate the camera in the upright direction, it should keep the inverted orientation and should continue working in the inverted mode. And I am very sure that this feature will be highly appreciated by everyone and will increase the value of this gimbal a lot. So whenever you switch it on, you should do it in this position. And if you want to come back, so from the upside down inverted mode, if you want to come back in the normal position, you can do it again in the same way, how we just keep on pressing the joystick and rotate it. So this is the way you can have the full functionality of Zhiyun Crane M with this high-end mirrorless cameras like a6500 or G85, and you don't need to compromise with the quality of the shooting, and still you can have a very compact setup for your travel. So I hope this helped you. Thanks for watching.